Hi guys, and welcome back to Mugenjuku on the Move. In this episode we will be taking a look at how to tie your obi. Now as far as I know there are two ways. The first way I'll show you I don't particularly like. The reason being is it leaves you with an overlap of the belt at the back, and this can be quite uncomfortable when you're rolling. And the second reason is because the knot is not a particularly tight one, so it tends to come undone a lot, especially if you have a stiffer belt. Okay, but the second way, one, it will give you a tighter knot. It will also be flatter and a lot sharper looking at the front, but it also means that the back of your belt will be flat and a lot more comfortable when you're doing a lot of rolling. There's also one advantage to it, and that's when you put a Hakama on. There's a cool little trick that you can do with the flappy ends to make it a lot neater and a lot nicer and easier when you're putting on your Hakama. So let's get started and let's take a look. Okay, so before we put on our obi, let's make sure of two things. One, we're standing nice and straight and we have good posture. And two, our jacket is pulled nice and tight so that we can feel the collar on the back of our neck. The reason being is that when we do training and when we're practicing and doing our techniques, we want to be able to feel our collar on the back of our neck so that we know we then have good posture in what we're doing. If at any point we can't feel the collar, we know that we may have stooped forward in our posture or that our dogi's come undone. But it's a good way to check and acknowledge your own posture when you're training. So make sure that we start with good posture, we pull the jacket nice and tight, and then we begin to tie our obi. So for the first way, the way that I'm not a fan of, so we can compare them, first we take the center of our belt here. Okay? We make our dogi nice and tight, and we place the center of the belt in the center of your waist, just above your trouser line. Then we take both ends of the obi around our back, and we simply just cross them over. Now as you can see, this creates a twist where the belt doesn't quite overlap cleanly. That's where it hurts your back, or can hurt your back. And then all we do is take the left over right, tuck the left one underneath both layers of belt, and then the right one over the left, and just do a simple knot. Okay? Now the only problem with this is it comes undone very simply, and again, like I said, we have this twist at the back that can be very uncomfortable when you're rolling. Now the way that I prefer to do it starts off exactly the same. We find the center of our belt. Okay. We tighten our dogi. We place the center of the belt into the center of our waist, just above our trouser line, and we take both ends around the back. Now this is where it changes. We take the piece that is in our left hand to our right hip, and we pass it to the right hand. At that point, the left hand is now free to secure the belt to our hip so that we can now take it around the back with our right hand and bring it in front of us. Now, the piece of belt that is on your right hand side goes across your body, and you should now have a really long piece of belt in your left hand. Take this across your body and place it on top of the smaller half. This then feeds around your back, and as you can see it now covers the other strip of obi, so you don't get that twist. Bring it across your body like so, and now you can tuck this one, so this is coming from your left hip. You can tuck this part of your belt or your obi underneath all the layers and pull it back up towards your chin. Now a trick here is to place the obi between your teeth. That gives your hands total freedom, basically. Then we place this end down the center of our body and behind the two layers of belt that are going around your waist. This creates a loop here, which we then place the piece that we were holding in our mouth. we place it through the loop, and this then goes between the 2 layers of the belt that are wrapping around your left hip, like so. Then we can pull them tight and it locks in. And as you can see, if I push on the 2 ends, the obi doesn't come undone, so it's nice and tight. So at the beginning of the video, I told you about a little tip I had for when wearing Hakama. Now, if we tie our obi in the second way that we looked at today, we can hide the dangly bits. So these bits, they're kind of a nuisance. They stick out of the triangle cut out of your Hakama, or they kind of get stuck, and then they ruin the nice crisp folds that we have at the front of our Hakama. So what we can do is we can hide the left-hand side strip in between the 2 layers of our obi that's going around our waist, and we can hide the right-hand piece of our obi underneath or behind the 2 layers of obi that are running around our body. So this way we get just 1 band all the way around, and this gives us a really nice structure to then place the Hakama on top of, and also to tie the himo, the straps, around. So that will give us a really nice crisp look when wearing a Hakama over the top of our obi. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys found it useful. Thank you so much once again for tuning in to Mugenjuku on the Move, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Os.